Hey guys, it's collabo time. So a really good girlfriend of mine, Sherry Blossom Beauty, you guys have got to check out her channel, introduced me to this amazing book. This is the Make Up Your Mind, Express Yourself book by Francois Nars. I'm not sure if I know how to pronounce Francois correctly, but you get the picture. So anyways, this book for just up-and-coming artists, pros, amateurs, rookies, whatever you call yourself, is great for everyone simply because it's got a wide, I can't even pick this thing up, it's definitely a little heavy. It's got a wide range of looks for various different complexions, various different age groups, even male and female. They've got some male models and female models, and I just love the age group that they're working with, the skin tone range. It's got a little bit of something for everyone. Great book. And I think what's also awesome about it is there's the model without makeup, and then they show you the final look. And not only do they show you the final look, but they've got the transparency that shows you how to achieve the final look, where the products are placed, etc, etc, etc. So Sherry Blossom Beauty referred this book to me, and I'm so glad she did, and she thought it would be a great idea to recreate this look actually from the book. Not the greatest picture, but I'll try to put some better pictures of that on my website. But anyways, the look is gorgeous. It's beautiful in her. Only thing though is it's kind of like a soft wash of color, and I'm not really a fan of those kind of looks, not only on myself but for my complexion. So I tweaked it to fit, you know, fit me. I made it my own a little bit more, so it's loosely inspired by that. And I don't own a ton of NARS products, so I'm working mostly with a lot of MAC and Urban Decay. But I really hope you guys like it. I'm so glad that Sherry contacted me, not only about this book but this collab video. I love just seeing other people's ideas and working with each other. So enough talking, let's get to the tutorial. So the look in the photo calls for a sheer foundation, but I need a little bit more coverage than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Makeup Forever's High Definition Foundation. Originally I thought Makeup Forever, the HD foundation, was a full cover. It's definitely not, but that doesn't mean you can't, it doesn't mean you can't get great coverage that you're looking for. I'm also going to be putting a little bit of that foundation on my lips. For the lip color I'm going to be using for this look, I need a blank canvas. So the model in the picture has a natural looking brow, so that's what I'm going to be doing for this look. I'm now going to be taking a little bit of concealer, you can also use foundation, onto my eyelids to get those colors to show up better and to give the shadow a little bit something extra to adhere to. I find that when I don't do that, priming the eye first, this is you can consider this a primer, but when I don't prime the eye, I find that the shadows come up a little bit more dull on me. So that's just a step that I pretty much do anytime I know that I'm going to be wearing shadow and I want it to like show up. So the model in the picture has kind of like a sheer wash of green, olive greens on the eyes. And for myself, I find that that's a look that really doesn't work for my complexion. So for this look, I'm going to be going on a little bit heavier than that. For the eyeshadow base, I'm going to use something that is neutral. I'm taking Groundwork Paint Pot by MAC and putting just a bit of that on the eyelid. Next, you're going to need an olive green eyeshadow. I'm going to be using Mink and Sable eyeshadow by MAC. If you don't have that, like I said, just work with anything that's like a true olive green or pigments. I actually think pigments would work really great for this look. Next, using the Urban Decay Naked palette, I'm going to take Creep eyeshadow or any really dark smoky black. Not using a ton of this product, but I'm taking that, and on the outer corners of my eyes, I'm blending that out. Next, use a smoky brown eyeshadow. This is Dark Horse in the palette. It's got some shimmer in it, and I'm really going to apply that into the crease. And a little bit of that is even going to go on the brow bone, along the bottom of my lash line. I mean, this color on her almost comes up all the way to her eyebrows, but I'm stopping, you know, just short of that. For the brow bone highlight, she's got kind of like that barely there highlight, so I'm going to use Bisque eyeshadow by MAC just on the high points of my brows, my brow arch. I want to see the outer corners a little bit darker, so I'm going to take Plumage eyeshadow by MAC, which is basically like a really dark matte teal. You are more than welcome to use whatever color you desire. And I'm taking that color on the outer corner of my eye just to darken that area up just a little bit. So really, we've only got like 2 or 3 eyeshadows that are outside of the palette. And then for the inner tear duct, there is a copper color. I'm going to use Half Baked from the Naked palette. Add under eye concealer, I'm going to use MAC's Select Cover Up. The model in the picture has a really strong highlight and contour, so I'm also going to be working with this concealer to achieve that. So I'm going to add some concealer down the bridge of my nose. And all of this may look a little sloppy right now, but once it's blended out, it will all flow. You see how I'm highlighting my forehead now? Down the middle and just above the brows. I mean, her highlight and contour is off the chain. You may not really see much of it in the picture, but when you're like actually looking at the book, you're like, wow, the contour is like super heavy, and the highlight. And I'm taking that concealer all the way back there. It's really gonna lift those cheekbones. I'm actually using the MAC 224. I like this for under eye because it really gets underneath there. It's like perfect. Pixie Woo Girls taught me that one. For the rest of that concealer, we've got to blend out. I'm just going to take a regular latex sponge, spray it with some Fix Plus or any type of moisture spray that you might have, and start to blend and stipple out that concealer we applied so that it blends with the rest of the face. Then set the under eye concealer with some finishing powder. This is the Pro Powder from MAC Cosmetics. Since I have like a really oily forehead as well, I'm also going to be using some of the finishing powder down the bridge of my nose because Lord knows I get the greasiest in my T-zone, and along the forehead. It also helps contribute to that perfect highlight that she's got. Like, I mean, the artist did a impeccable job highlighting this girl's face in the picture. And so it may look white and it may look frosty now, but once I blend it out, it's going to give a really, really cool effect. But the important thing is to make sure you blend out and you don't use too much. A little bit really does go a long way. I've only pressed the sponge into the product one time and then I applied. And now I'm like pressing it into the skin because I want it to set and I don't want that foundation to budge. So right now it kind of looks like a mask. Fear no more, not for very long. I'm gonna gently brush some of that out with the foundation brush. Start to brush some of the product off very gently and soft. On top of that, I'm going to set that with a powder. This is the Mineralized Skin Finish in Deep Dark by MAC. And I'm using this to kind of buff into the skin because I want a somewhat soft coverage with this one. But it's going to get rid of that white cast that the finishing powder gave me, I should say. Much better, right? Much better. I'm using a brown eyeliner for the inner tear duct. This is Stubborn Brown by MAC. You can use any dark brown eyeliner. This is just the only one that I happen to have. Don't really use a lot of brown eyeliner, but this is what the model's wearing, so we're gonna rock it. This kind of gives a nice softer effect versus using like a black liner, which is what I'm used to wearing. So you know, it's always cool to switch things up a bit from time to time. Using that dark green shadow, we're going to underline the bottom lash line. And she's actually got tons of product, like really, and she really smoked it out quite low. So I'm gonna pack this on pretty heavy. She's also got some of that brownish gold along the bottom lash line. Wow, that's actually my favorite part of the look, is that. But it starts from the bottom and blends into the crease. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more, it's kind of faded from adding the concealer, of the gold shimmer in the inner tear duct. The model has a really heavy, intense, but really dope contour in the temple area, which is not an area I really like to contour too much because it just doesn't fit my face shape. But for the look, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. I'm going to take Blunt Blush by MAC. You kind of want like a reddish brown or like a plum brown. And I'm going to really pack that on in a V-shaped motion just on the temple. I mean, that really warmed up my temples. But that's how she's got it. And then start to blend downward along the jawline. And her contour is super heavy. Wow, looks like I got beat up. Get some of that along the jawline. So that's pretty much it for the eyes. The model doesn't appear to have any eyeliner, so I'm just going to add mascara. I'm using Maybelline's Lash Stiletto Mascara. Finally, mascara takes me forever. Okay, so top the look off with a shimmery coral blush. I'm going to use the Terracotta La Femme blush. It looks pink. Actually, hold that thought. Let's use Peach Sparkle. It's not true to color on camera, I can tell you that right now because I can see it. Lighting is playing tricks on you, but I'm not going to use tons of product. I'm just going to kind of lightly dust this on the apples of my cheeks, and that's really all I need. And finish this look off with a lipstick. The look calls for a nude mauve. I'm going to use Modesty lipstick by MAC. It's pinker than it looks on camera, but that was kind of the reason why I put the foundation on. I wanted to neutralize that out a little bit. And then the model's look is super glossy for the lips, so I'm just going to add clear lip gloss, and that is it. Yo, is this hair awesome or what?